Hello and welcome to Skills Miner Aerospace, the latest Minecraft games lessons from Ingenuity, built by block builders, supported with lessons developed by Tablet Academy. This is Game 2, Coding the Flight Deck. So when you load up the game and you come into it, you'll be in a room like this. But before you get started, there's something very important we need to do. You're going to be using Microsoft MakeCode, which comes with Minecraft Education Edition, and we need you to load up some of the code beforehand. So once you are in game, if you press the escape key, the ESC key at the top left of your keyboard, that will bring up this menu in front of you. You're going to be using the resource link today, so you're going to click on the button that says Make Code. That will open up a separate window of an internet browser with MakeCode on it. So I am just going to move my Education Edition screen so you'll be able to see the code. So this is what will pop up on your screen. What you need to do is click on this button in the right hand corner that says Edit, and that will open up a new page like this. And then in the top left, you can see you have a home button and then you have a share button. You need to click on the share button and click Publish Project, and that will bring up this link. You're then going to copy that link. So make sure you have copied this URL here, and then you can remove that web page now. So I'm going to go back into Education Edition, make the game full screen, come back in, and now I'm going to open up MakeCode. So it's all loaded and ready to go. So you can do this by either typing /code and pressing enter, or you can just press the C key and it will load up. You'll then get the menu that looks like this that says Code Builder and choose your editor. You're going to choose the top one, which is Microsoft MakeCode. So click on that. Once that loads, I have lots of projects here. If you've used it before, you will have projects along here. If you haven't, then you won't have any, but that's fine. What you need to click is alongside where it says My Projects, there is this icon here that is Import a Project. So you're going to click on that, click Import URL, and then you're going to paste in the URL you have just copied and click Go Ahead, and that will load it up. Then you can just press the start button down at the bottom and leave it be for now. You'll be coming back to that a little bit later on. We just want to make sure that it's all loaded up and ready to go before you start the coding part of the game. So back to the beginning. When you load up, you'll come into this room here. There are lots of NPCs in here for you to interact with. So NPC is a non-player character. To begin with, if you head over to the desk, you have your welcome NPC, and you just need to right click on them. They'll welcome you to the aircraft hangar, and they'll tell you that you are the new apprentice and that they need your help with lighting in the plane and the landing gear. You'll be using MakeCode to get these to work properly. But before you begin, explore the room and find out more about the kinds of people who work here. So all of the other NPCs in this room perform different jobs in areas like this. So, for example, we have our ground support engineer over here. There's also a board behind them, which will give you some more information about ways in, relevant school subjects, key skills, and the habitat they work in. So if you right-click on your ground support engineer, they will give you a bit more information about their job and what they do day to day. So you'll be able to read all of this and scroll down. So before you begin the actual game, you can pause the video here, take a few minutes to talk to each NPC, interact with each one, read what they have to say by right-clicking on them, and have a look at the boards behind them. When you are ready to go, you can head over to this NPC here that says Next Step. Once you've interacted with all the NPCs in this room, you head over here to our Next Step NPC, right-click on them, and they will teleport you down to the plane. So click Go and you'll be taken down to our airplane here. In front of you there are a few NPCs. There is one over here that will take you back to the office. So that's only if you want to go back to interact with those NPCs a bit more. Otherwise, you'll begin by interacting with this task NPC. So you can right click on them. They will tell you that you need to look at the emergency lights and the landing gear of the plane. But we're going to start with the emergency lights. So head up the stairs to find out what to do next. Inside the plane, there are also lots of NPCs to interact with. So we have our next task NPC here. I'm going to come back to them in a minute because first, I want you to have a look around the plane. So as you can see, it's a little bit darker in here than it should be. You're going to be solving that using make code in a little bit. First off, you can see that there are NPCs that say, did you know? So by right-clicking on them, each NPC that's in the plane here, in the cabin, will give you different facts. So here, this one talks about the freefall parachute jump that has a world record. If you now, the same as you did in the room previously when you went and interacted with all the career NPCs, if you now take a minute to interact with all of the Did You Know NPCs and explore the cabin a little bit as well, you can pause the video, take your time, explore and talk to all of those NPCs, and then when you're ready, we'll meet back here at the task NPC at the front of the cabin. Now you should have spoken to all of the Did You Know NPCs and found out lots of interesting facts. And now we're back at the front of the cabin with our task NPC here. So if you right click on your task NPC, they'll welcome you and they'll tell you obviously that it's a bit dark in here. We need you to use make code to test the emergency lighting and make it turn on and off. So now you are going to be following your worksheets and or video guide for the next part. You're going to do the emergency lights first, and then once that part is completed, you'll head back downstairs and you'll go underneath the plane to look at the landing gear. What's going to happen here is you can head into the flight deck at the front of the plane and have a look around. This is where I leave you and I'm going to hand over to Simon from Tablet Academy, who is going to talk you through the make code and show you how to make the emergency lighting work and then the landing gear at the front of the plane. I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Greetings, fellow engineers. A recent power surge has caused some of the code for our emergency systems to become corrupt. It's your challenge to find the problems in the code and fix them to bring everything back online. Your first checkpoint is to find the NPC that says next steps. If you right click and click on go, they will take you to the entrance of the plane. There's another engineer here. You need to do. So we need to have a look at the emergency lights and the landing gear. You'll start by getting the emergency lights to work. So head up the stairs into the plane. So using the controls W to move forward, A left, D right, and S backwards. Make your way up the steps to the entrance of the plane. And take a look around. There's some NPCs in there that you can interact with. You've also got the flight deck as well. So your first challenge is to activate the lights. Now to bring up the code, the first thing you need to do is press the letter C on your keyboard. Now if this is the first time using the code connections or make code tool with Minecraft, you might be asked which one would you like to use? So we'd like you to use the top one, which is Microsoft Make Code. Once you're in, the first thing you need to do is upload the rogue code. Now your teachers have supplied this before the lesson. If not, if you ask the teacher where to find that. And then you click on the Import Project button and Import File. So ask your teacher where the code is located and then click on that file. So it's called Minecraft Broken Code. Click on Open and go ahead. Now your teachers would also have supplied you with the solution. So it's now your challenge in your pairs to find the broken piece of code over here. So you've got broken code 5, broken code 1, and you need to find where that needs to go in the original program. So if you think this section here that says broken code 1 needs to go in here, Then click and drag it inside like so. And you need to do that for all of the code. Now don't worry if you make a mistake. You can click on undo and that will take that code back. So once you think you've managed to fix all of the code, click on the play button. That will take you back to Minecraft. So to test the lights, you need to go into the flight deck, and in these chests, by right clicking, you have some green concrete. Place that in your inventory like so. And then if you move up to the flight deck, you'll see an activator. If you right click and place your green block on top of the activator, you'll get a message to say the lights are turning on, and you'll see the lights light up. Then to test the landing gear, we need to go down the steps and make our way to the front of the plane. So here we have our landing gear. And to test this, we need to send a message to the flight deck to deploy our landing gear. So to do that, you press the letter T on your keyboard to bring up the chat, and you type in the word deploy. And then either press enter on your keyboard or press the enter key here. And if you've typed in the right code, hopefully the landing gear will be raised. And if you press letter T again and type in deploy, the landing gear will be brought back down. So good luck. And remember, if you get stuck, ask your teacher for help.